What is the greatest weapon in Deep Rock Galactic? Obviously, the stubby voltaic SMG, so yeah, that's the best weapon. Please smash that subscribe button and comment on the video. Wow, that video was almost as good as the stubby voltaic SMG from the hit multiplayer class-based PvE shooter, Deep Rock Galactic. You're still here? The video's over. Oh, you want to know why the stubby voltaic SMG is the best weapon in Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, just give me a bit to write an actual script. Firstly, the stubby stats. But warning, there are lots of numbers ahead. Here's some soap carving to give your ADHD brains some stimulation. Okay, now that you're situated, the stubby does 2 damage per shot, with a rate of fire of 11 and a reload time of 2. Many people believe the stubby does terrible damage, which, to be honest, is kind of true. But the stubby isn't built for damage. You see, I've been hiding something from you. You know what the voltaic part in stubby voltaic SMG means? Relating to electricity produced by a chemical action in a battery. Oh yeah, the stubby does electric damage. The most important part of the stubby stats is undoubtedly the electrical damage. Electrical damage stuns the enemy you hit and damages nearby enemies. It does less damage than fire, but has stun that almost stops a glyphid in its tracks. I mean, look at this Praetorian. This man could do nothing except just slowly walk towards me. He looks like an old man shaking his fist saying, "Damn you!" after I stole his walker. This stun makes Stubby an excellent team support tool. Think, the engineer stuns a large group of glyphids and then makes it so easy for a driller to, well, do the driller thing. But Bubblegun, I don't want to be a usual teammate. I want to get stupendous amounts of dopamine by seeing that kill number at the end of the game be higher than everyone else's. Whoa, calm down there, champ. That's possible to the Stubby with the power of combos. What's a weapon combo, you ask? Well, in Deep Rock Galactic, each class has what's called a secondary weapon, which can be switched to by simply pressing 2 on your keyboard. Now I know what you're all thinking, but secondaries are weak. I can't one-shot people in Counter-Strike with them. Oh, you poor summer child. In Deep Rock Galactic, secondaries are made to be comboed with your primary. For instance, as a driller, you set a bug on fire and pull out your pistol and turn them into Swiss cheese. But the engineer is particularly lucky with his secondaries, considering they're pretty much his primaries. Don't understand me? Well, hear me out. Each engineer's secondary does considerably more damage than his primary, but you don't have the primary's sustain, making you use them much more sparingly. Look at the breach cutter, for instance. It only has around 12 shots, but they are incredibly powerful, making it something you would switch off your primary for a split second to use, creating an unbelievably powerful combo. The Stubby is great at comboing, with its stun mechanic and its low damage actively encouraging you to switch off of it. Here's a combo for each secondary. The PGL. Stun a large group of glyphids, then press 2 on your keyboard while they're stunned and, liberate their insides. The Breach Cutter. Find a decently sized group of enemies, do the bonk bonk sabbity zap, then pull out the Breach Cutter and make some glyphid pizza. The Shard Diffractor. Stun a dreadnought by repeatedly shooting it with your stubby till it has to reload, then pull out one of the highest DPS weapons in the game and give the dreadnought a taste of the sun. But now you might be saying, well, at that point I might as well be using my secondary as my primary. Unfortunately, your secondary has absolute dog water ammo and takes years to reload, or has to reload after every 1 to 3 shots.
Holy Jesus! What is that? What the fuck is that?
These weapons are for burst damage. After all of the combos I mentioned, you switch back to your stubby and continue doing consistent damage. But why is the stubby the best primary for these combos? Well, let's go over the other 2 options. The Warthog. While it has slightly more damage, it has no bonus effects aside from the 1/4 of a second stun, and the reload ages me by 50 years. The Lock 1 has a cool gimmick, but once you learn how to just, aim, its flaws are very much apparent. It eats ammo faster than Nikocado Avocado eats Big Macs, and it has the crowd control abilities of something with, well, not good crowd control abilities. Both of these primaries are really good, but not as good as the stubby. They both can combo, but there's nothing stopping the bugs from running up to you and eating your leg while switching weapons. Comboing, as I've explained, is the best way to do damage as an engineer, due to just how powerful his secondaries are, and his other primaries are just worse at it compared to the stubby. And I forgot to mention one thing. Have you ever heard of this small game called Team Fortress 2? Right, I only mentioned TF2 to talk about that game's engineer. TF2 also has an engineer, and you know what he does? Build turrets. Oh, that's right, the engineer in Deep Rock Galactic has turrets. The turrets in Deep Rock Galactic are not nearly as powerful as those in TF2, but they still do shoot, and they still do kill. Say a horde is coming towards you in Deep Rock, we'll build up your turrets, then stun them with the stubby. This drastically slows down your enemies, allowing your turrets to shoot the bugs quite a lot while you are, say, using your secondary. This creates, in my opinion, the best defense in the game, allowing you to absolutely destroy your enemies. And guess what? You can combo with your teammates like I said earlier, allowing you to kill enemies not only with your primary, but your teammates, your secondary, and your turrets. All of this is possible thanks to one stat, 25% electric damage. Okay, so the stubby is great at comboing with pretty much everything in the game. Don't even get me started with the grenades. But is it fun to shoot? We'll have a look for yourself. I mean, just look at that reload. Look at that bug as it is slowly mowed down until its body goes limp. It's so satisfying. Look at the swarmers and how helpless they are, all of the bodies violently exploding. What? No, I'm mentally stable. What are you talking about? I think you're the one that's crazy. Now let's address the elephant in the room. I can already hear you all screaming, but pros say the stubby is bad, and you're only level 69, so why should we listen to you? And to that I say, this guy put the M1000 as top tier, and that gun requires aiming. Yuck. So obviously all of this man's opinions are worthless and should be completely ignored. But to be brutally honest, I'm pretty much the only person in the world who seems to think that the stubby Voltaic SMG is the best weapon in Deep Rock Galactic. Funny thing being, I'm not even an engineer main, I main scout. But I like the stubby so much that I consider it to be the best weapon in the game. Of course, that sentence contains contradictions of subjectivity and objectivity, and this video is most definitely biased. Yet I still believe the stubby Voltaic SMG to be the best weapon in Deep Rock Galactic, as I have provided all of my reasons here in the video, and if you disagree, feel free to type in the comments why. I will be happy to have some friendly debate. Toenail out.